Hi, students. How are you?
Hi, guys. Hope you're doing well today. It's good to see you or
It
be
is
seen by you.
good. It is good to be with you. I wish we were
Yeah.
actually with you, but this will
Yes.
work for now.
Hopefully it is. Hopefully I get to see you sometime soon.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You might notice from the picture in the background, hopefully you know what that is, the Statue of Liberty. So we're going to be reading a story about that today after we go over what you studied with Tim from the last lesson.
Yeah. You remember the one, those of you who have taken citizenship, there's one question that asks you, where is the Statue of Liberty? And the correct answer is in the New York Harbor, which is this is the New York Harbor, or on the Hudson River, because this is the Hudson River, or in New Jersey, because this is New Jersey over here, and actually the state line goes here, and this is New York on this side. So in New Jersey, near New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
How many of you have seen that? I bet some of you have been there and have seen the Statue of
maybe,
Liberty.
yeah, maybe. It used to be almost all immigrants to the United States came into this island right here, which is called Ellis Island.
Mm-hmm.
And so whenever you read about an immigration book from the early 1900s about somebody who immigrated, they always talk about seeing the Statue of Liberty from there.
Mm-hmm. It's so big. And from this view, I like this picture because from this view, you can really see that it's an island.
Yeah.
But in person, it's really big.
Very tall.
Yeah.
Yes. So last time, if you remember, we were in the White Book and we were working on future time clauses on page 126. So if you pause your cameras, go grab your white books and also grab your green book because we're going to be in that later.
That's where the story is.
That's where the story we're going to read about this is. So grab both books, but open your white book to page 126 and we will start. Hope you have your books. Hope you unpause this and now you have your books. So if you remember on this page, I think maybe I have it here. Never mind. I have it here.
Yeah. This is about the future, talking about clauses that talk about the future.
So there's the clauses that talk about future, remember? So this is all things that are happening in the future. There's going to be two things it's going to refer to. One happens before the other, one happens after the other. So there's two things that happen in a sequence, but they haven't happened yet. They're going to happen in the future. So maybe on Saturday, first thing I'm going to do is get out of bed and then I'm going to make breakfast. So after I get out of bed, I will make breakfast. Mm-hmm. I will get out of bed before I make breakfast.
Okay. So each sentence has two clauses, two pieces.
Two pieces.
Yeah, so that shows the two things you were talking about, right?
So in this sample sentence I gave you, the first clause is before Kim takes a vacation. The second clause is he will finish school. So there's a before or an after in the sentence. See, each of these sentences here, before, after, has a before or after in it. Mm-hmm. And then they'll have a verb. Notice there's a verb after the before here, take, and there's a verb in the second clause, finish.
Will finish.
Will finish.
It's the future.
So if it's with the before or after, it's in present tense. Mm-hmm. If it's in the other clause, it doesn't have before or after in it. It has a future tense. So there were lots of those on this page. The one that they gave you as an example, Kara will talk to a travel agent before she books a flight. So the two clauses, one has Kara talk to a travel agent, and the other has this is a clause before she book a flight. So book is going to be present tense, and talk is going to be future tense because book is present because there's a before in that part of the sentence.
Right. Notice they had to make it books because right?
She books. Yeah. And will talk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But last time I gave you the answers to numbers 2 through 5. and told you to go ahead and try numbers 6, 7, and 8.
Should we go over the answers?
So let's go over the answers to those next.
I think I can do this. I think I know these.
I think so too.
Okay. So number 6, I'm looking at the 2 clauses. So it's got an after clause. So that one is going to be the one that's in present tense, right? So the other one will be future. So it should be, I will call you after I return from my trip.
Good. The next one is the before or after at the beginning or in the middle. It's at the beginning. So the first verb is going to be present tense. The second verb is going to be future tense. I will get my passport.
Wait.
After I get my passport, I will make the reservations.
Yeah.
After I get my passport, I will make the reservations. So get and will make.
Yeah. I don't want to cut you off from the picture. Get into space. Number 8 starts with before, so that's going to be the one with the present tense verb. So before we go to Mexico, we will learn some words in Spanish.
Yep. And number 9, notice the before is in the middle of the sentence. So the second verb is going to be present. The first verb is going to be future. Jack will lock the doors before he leaves for the airport. Good. So that's from last week. Hope you understand it. If you have questions, give us a call or text us.
If you want more practice with those, there's always practice, just like it in the Green Book.
In the Green Book on page 118. So now we're going to switch to the Green Books, and we're going to be looking at the reading on page
120.
120. Here.
So it looks like this.
Looks like this.
A picture.
Has the Statue of Liberty. And then the second part of this, you're going to have some true false questions. So take a minute or 5 or 10, however long it takes you.
It's a little bit long. It might take a little while.
To read through this.
As you read, I want you to underline words that are new to you, or maybe a phrase that you don't know, because we did that.
Yeah, and I want you to do that too.
Okay. All right, so just push pause, read, underline, and we'll be back.
We're back.
That was fast.
That was fast.
I know.
Yeah. So we have gone ahead and underlined some of the words. Now I did this and I missed a couple. So we may add a couple more to this.
And you might have some other ones.
And if you do, call us or text us and ask us the question.
Yeah.
The first one we have there is statue. So the statue it's something that you might make out of clay, or you make out of concrete, or you make out of stone, and it's in the shape of something. Like in this case, it's the shape of a woman. She has a
torch,
thing in her hand, and she's got her hand way in the air, and she got something else in her other hand. So
some countries have a lot of statues.
Many.
And we don't have too many statues in Dallas.
Not too many.
Dallas
in Vienna,
is a
where we
newer
live,
city.
there were many statues.
Maybe your country has a lot of statues of like famous people from the past. That's a lot of times what statues are.
Sometimes just they're arty and they make you think of something.
That's
usually.
right. Yeah, that's true.
So
maybe you could send us a picture of a statue from your country if you want.
Yeah,
if
that'd
you
be
have
fun.
it.
We'd like to see it.
Yeah. So that's statue. The next word we have underlined is liberty. So because this is called Statue of Liberty. So liberty is just another word for freedom. Means the same thing as freedom.
Freedom. So what's freedom?
Well, freedom can mean a lot of different things to different people, really. But I think here it means like you are not enslaved. You can walk around freely and do what you want.
I think in America it's saying the government can't tell you what to do in a lot of cases.
Yeah. Actually, one interesting thing about this statue, I don't know if you knew this or not, but at the where her feet are, the statue, there was a chain, like her foot was chained like a slave would be chained, and it's broken. And that's like supposed to show that she was set free. And that was about the time when in the United States we had a problem with slavery, and that was
We just freed the
we
slaves
had just freed the slaves in the United States.
when we got this statue, which you learned about when you read when we got it. So.
Yeah.
Next is tourist sites, and in our last story, in the last story we talked about what a tourist was. So this is like a 2-word verb, tourist sites. So it's sites are things you go to see. So you go
It's
to
like an attraction.
in Dallas. You go to see maybe the zoo, or you go to see
The art museum,
the art museum, or you go to see a park.
the aquarium.
It's not going to see like your grandmother. That's not a site.
Maybe
But
she's a site.
It's a thing you go to see that is set up for people to go in and visit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So tourist sites are things that tourists, when they come to the city, they like to go see.
Maybe you read about a city and it'll say, oh, these are all fun things to go to. Those would be tourist sites.
Mm-hmm.
Another word for that is attraction, because it like draws you there. You want to go see it.
So maybe sometime you're gonna say, I'm gonna go to San Antonio, and somebody says, what are you going to see while you're there?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the Alamo.
Yeah, they have the Alamo.
Yeah.
They have a good aquarium too.
I'm gonna go to Galveston. What are you gonna see there? I'm gonna go to the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's a site.
Yeah, your countries have really different, interesting ones. Some of you have showed me pictures before.
Send us pictures of those too.
Yeah. Can you tell we want pictures? We're so bored. Send us anything. Yeah. Okay. The next word is an interesting word, symbol. You see this? It's right on the second line right here. It says symbol of freedom. So it's talking about this statue is a symbol of freedom. So symbol means it's a thing or a picture. Look, he's drawing a little heart, see, with his hands. So when he does that, I think, oh, love.
Yep.
That's very sweet.
That symbolizes love. That's a symbol of love.
Right.
And the Statue of Liberty is a symbol of freedom. That's what we call it, the Statue of Liberty. Liberty is another word for freedom.
So it should be when people look at that, they think about freedom. Uh-huh. So that's really what a symbol is. It's something else that you draw or you make or you have in it. And when you see that, you think about the other thing.
Yeah. Now, I didn't underline this on the next line, but it says Lady Liberty in quotes. That's because it's a name and it's a kind of a nickname. It's not named that, but people call it that.
Yeah.
So then it says the next word there is robes.
Yeah, they have an adjective before it, long robes.
Long robe.
Mm-hmm.
So a robe is this right here. It's this part
it's what
of her clothing.
What she's wearing.
It's what she's wearing. She's wearing a robe. So it's not a jacket. It's not a dress. It's a robe. Mm-hmm. So sometimes when you get out of the shower, you put on a robe and you put it around you and you tie there's a string and you tie that up in front of you.
Sometimes people, like religious people, will wear robes. Leaders of the church will wear robes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then the next word is crown. So you can see around her head, with those points, here. That's the crown.
Right here where the thing's moving.
Yeah.
That's the crown. It's like what a king wears or a queen or a princess.
Mm-hmm. But this one is kind of an interesting crown, and you read about it, has special meaning, that crown.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah. So now we skip down a little way, and the next...
I wanted to point out one other thing. Okay. Notice it says July, and then it's got all these letters. Those are Roman numerals. It's a special kind of way to write numbers. But then often we'll see this in English where he shows one thing and then in parentheses there'll be an explanation of what that means.
Mm.
So the stone has this written on it. It's a date, and it means July 4th, 1776. So what's the next one?
So the next one after that, it's telling you that's the day of America's independence from Britain. So independence means like separation or like our ability to be by ourselves. So before we were part of Britain and then we left and we were by ourselves, we don't depend on, we don't need England anymore. So we are by ourselves.
And she gave it away. Britain, notice it's a capital B. So that's a country. It's a name of a country. Mm-hmm. It's England. It means Britain and England.
Yeah.
Same thing. So,
some of you have said like it's American English or British English, because a British is the adjective that talks about what kind of English they speak there.
Right. So they use different words.
Very
for different
formal
things.
English. Probably proper, better.
Better. That means better.
Yeah.
Better.
Now you think that they know many words here.
Yeah, I just skipped a bunch of words.
But you do know many words because you've learned a lot.
Repairs and visitors.
Aren't allowed.
Tour we've done. Island we've done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it talks about the base of the statue, right? That's the next one, I think. Base.
Base.
So in this picture, you can't see the whole base, but you see where the lady's feet are at the bottom of her robe. Can you kind of go there with your... Oh, here you can see the base a lot. So the lady is in green.
See, this is the lady.
Yeah.
Now, this shows some other pieces about her because there's a stairway that goes right up the middle. Can you see that right there?
Yeah, that's crazy. So that's the stairs. You can climb up those stairs.
It tells you in the story how many stairs there are.
I think it's 156.
254, I think. We'll read it again.
Anyway, we'll read it.
But this brick part down below is the base.
Right.
It's what it sits on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oops, that's not where I wanted to go. So the next word is pass right here. Get a pass.
Where did we go?
Actually, limited number. We want to talk about that too. A limited number. You know what a number is? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know where we are.
Yeah, let's push pause.
I can't. Oh, yeah. We're back.
All right.
So limited number.
All right.
And you know what a number is. Number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Limited number means you can't have two. If you take everybody, it'll be too many. So they have to limit. They have to put. Can't do too many.
Right. Maybe only 50 people can go.
Or 200. I don't know what the number is,
but I think it says talking about the number of people that can go up to her.
In a
to
day
a crown.
or a time. Yeah, we don't know if that means in one day or at a time. We don't know.
Where was limited?
Right here. A limited.
A limited number can get a pass.
Can get a pass. What's a pass?
I think a pass is like a ticket.
Yeah.
Right?
So you get on the island, and if you get there early enough, you can get a pass so that you can take the stairs and go up and see out.
Okay. Yeah.
Why would you want to see out?
Oh, think how tall she is. I bet that's a great view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can even see the city's skyline. Let's go look at another picture. Let's see, where are those pictures? That first picture we had up right here.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Shows the skyline of New York City.
So you can imagine if you climbed up all those stairs and you were up at the top, you would get probably the best view of that skyline.
Yep.
Really good view.
Now, interesting, this is a different city. This is Newark, New Jersey.
Wow.
So this is New York City.
So this
Manhattan.
is like two different states.
Yeah, this is a different state. Newark, New Jersey.
Wow. Now, you grew up pretty close to there, right?
Yeah, I grew up in Connecticut. We'll show you on a map in a little bit.
Okay. Should we finish the words?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we did skyline.
Get rid of that. Okay, so we finished pass and skyline.
So board a ferry.
Yeah, so it says to get there, you must board a ferry. So, when you're looking at what words mean, try to read the whole sentence. It'll help you. So that's what I was trying to do. So a ferry is a boat. So you have to get onto the boat to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and to get back too.
Yeah. So that's the words. I'm going to show you a map in a second here. Good. So this is a map. It shows the Statue of Liberty. Now I wanted to show you one thing on here. Statue of Liberty National Museum. Look at the word underneath it.
Oh.
It says closed. What does closed mean?
It's not open.
It's not open.
No,
It means
you can't go.
You can't go right now. Why can't you go right now? Coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what? When I was looking at pictures of the Statue of Liberty, one of them had the Statue of Liberty with a mask on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
That's funny. So I'm going to make us a little bit smaller so you can see the maps a little bit better. But this is where this is compared to where we are. I'll show you as I go out. Well, first let me show you where I grew up.
If you go back in, it showed Connecticut. Oh, there you
Here's
go.
Connecticut. I grew up right here.
So
That's
he
where I
is
grew
very close.
So we could drive to the Statue of Liberty in about 2 hours from where I grew up.
Mm-hmm.
So do it this way.
Actually, I think coronavirus is a little bit worse where you grew up.
Yeah. Now, this is where it is on the East Coast of the United States, in New York. We live in Dallas, right here.
Oh, you put a symbol right there.
Right there, a
That
heart. Because that's where actually these symbols are where our children live. So one of our daughters lives in Dallas.
Okay.
Another one of our daughters lives in Beaumont.
Uh-huh.
And our son lives in Austin.
So did you put those there because you love them?
So that means, yes. Because that means that 3 of my grandchildren live here, and 2 of our grandchildren live here, and 2 of our grandchildren live here.
That's true.
Now, we talked about Britain. That's over here.
Oh, yeah. Actually, it says United Kingdom because Britain is part of the United Kingdom.
Actually. It says United Kingdom here, yes. It's another word for England, which is Britain, and Scotland, and North Ireland, and Wales.
If you go in closer,
together.
will it say Britain?
No.
No.
Now, do you remember from the story where the Statue of Liberty was built? It was built in France, in Paris. And then it was taken apart. So they took this huge statue and they made it in France.
It had to take a long time to make it, too.
All the way over here. They put it on a boat and sent it across the ocean. And then they put it back together when it got here on a big stand.
Mm-hmm.
Base, they called it, right?
Yep, on the base.
On the base. So they built the base here, I'm sure. And then they put the statue on top of the base. So,
I
interesting.
bet that base is pretty large. That's probably there's a museum in there and everything.
Yeah. So,
You did this. This was their homework.
this was their homework. Oh, this one over here is where I need to go. Okay, so what we need to do
Let's
next
read it, huh?
is read it. So we'll go back up to here and read it. So
Okay.
Lori and I will read it. You follow along.
All right.
You wanna
So,
start?
yeah. I'm wondering if we should do the one that has the words underlined because that'll remind us to talk about those.
Well, we talked about them already.
All right. Just wanted to do them in context. All right, I'll remember them anyway. The Statue of Liberty is one of the most popular tourist sites in New York City, and it's a symbol of freedom for many Americans. The statue is on Liberty Island in the middle of New York Harbor. Remember we showed the picture of that? The people of France gave the statue to the people of the United States in 1886 as a gift of friendship. It's a very generous gift.
Mm-hmm.
Many people call the statue by its popular name, Lady Liberty. The statue is a woman wearing a long robe and a crown with 7 points. The points represent the 7 continents. Oh, that's a word we didn't do.
Yeah, a continent. What's a continent? A continent is an area of land. So if we live in North America, maybe you're from Africa or Asia or from Europe or from the Middle East. Those are all other parts of the world. And
they're on different continents.
On different continents. So ours is North America. North America, you have more than one country. So Canada, the United States,
and Mexico
are all part of North America.
So actually not many countries on North America.
But on South America, there's many.
Yeah, and on Africa, many.
And on Europe, there's many countries.
And Asia also many.
Just happens to be 3 big countries on North America.
Right.
So
okay,
there's
so
7 continents.
That's continents, and so that's what those parts of her crown represent. And it also, it says it represents the 7 continents and the 7 seas.
So this is Europe, this is North America, and this is the Atlantic Ocean. So there's 7 oceans and there's 7 continents. So here's Africa, here's Europe.
7 seas, yes.
So a sea is an ocean. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can see when I show more of the world, you can see.
You can see it better.
Europe and Asia, Africa, Antarctica, and then there's the Indian Ocean and the Arabian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean on the other side.
Why did you put that little star up there?
That's where we lived when we lived in Vienna.
It is.
Anyway, go ahead.
All right, so it says that the Statue of Liberty, she holds a flat piece of stone in her left hand and a burning torch in her right hand. The stone has the date, and now it's got it all in Roman numerals, but it's July 4th, 1776, the day of America's independence from Britain. Here's the number of steps. There are 354 steps inside the statue.
We both got it wrong.
That's a lot of steps. And they go in a circle like this to get up there.
It's called spiral.
Yeah, a spiral. And 25 windows at the crown. So, the crown around her head. So the 25 windows represent, when they say represent, that's using that idea of symbolism or a symbol again. The 25 windows represent 25 natural minerals of the earth.
It takes a lot of work to keep the Statue of Liberty in good condition. Sometimes the statue is closed for repairs. At these times, visitors are still able to visit the island and tour the park, but they aren't allowed to go into the statue. When the Statue of Liberty is open, visitors can learn about the statue at the museum in the base of the statue. A limited number of people can get a pass and climb up into the crown. From there, they can see a wonderful view of New York Harbor and the city's skyline. To get to the Statue of Liberty, you must board a ferry. Private boats are not allowed to land on the island. It's a good idea to buy your tickets in advance, as the lines can be very long, and sometimes the tickets sell out.
What's that mean, sell out?
Sell out. So if all the tickets are sold, then you can't go to the island that day.
Can we say they're out? Right?
They're out. They're all sold. All the tickets are sold.
Try another day.
We sold out. So sometimes the tickets sell out. If it happened in the past, they're sold out. So let's look at the bottom of that page 128, right here. Make that a little bigger, I think. Nope, because I can't. So these are the true-false questions at the bottom of that page. Okay. The article gives information about the history of the statue.
You want to go through these together?
Yeah. True. The article gives information about the history of the statue.
You took the easy one.
Yeah.
I'll do number 2. The article describes the statue. So
you read in your book there, and I'm going to go up and we'll point out where it describes.
Okay, so describes means it tells about it.
Right.
Like it tells me what it looks like. Did it do that? Yeah, because it told me.
It's wearing a long robe, crown. Tells about the stone tablet it's wearing, about how many steps are in the inside, how many windows. So it tells a lot about it.
It tells a lot about it. Described it in pretty much detail.
So it's number 2, true or false?
It's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
The article gives information about how to visit the statue.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about this one.
It doesn't give a lot of information about it, but down here it tells you how to get to the Statue of Liberty. You have to take a ferry. You have to buy tickets, so you know you have to pay to go.
Yeah.
And you have to buy them. Well, you should buy them in advance. You don't have to. It's a good idea.
Yeah, it tells you some information.
Some, but not a lot.
Since it tells you some, I would probably still say true.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, the next one, number 4, says the statue is over. That means more than. It's over 300 years old.
So, what do you think?
Well, I see a number bigger than 300 there, 354.
That's steps inside the statue.
All right.
So where does it talk about how old it is? It doesn't really talk about how old it is, does it?
I see a 1776.
That's what it says on her thing here. But it does say that the statue was given, France gave the statue to the United States in what year?
1886.
So is that more or less than 300 years ago?
Now it's 2020, so
2020 minus 1886.
If Mohammed was here, he would be doing this math.
That's 134.
Oh, that is 134? Mm-hmm. You're pretty good with that.
134. Is that more than or less than 300?
That's less. That's less than.
So is that a true or a false statement?
False.
False.
This is false.
So number 4 is false.
Yeah.
The torch is in the Lady Liberty's left hand.
Well, you can just look and see that's not right.
Well, maybe the photo's wrong.
No.
Maybe it's, one of those photos that's...
Plus, you can read and know.
Yeah, the reading, that's a better way
to do it. Because it says in the second paragraph, it says she holds a flat piece of stone in her left hand and a burning torch in her right hand.
So is it true or false that she holds the torch in her left hand? It's false because she holds it in her right hand.
Right.
So number 5 is false. France gave the statue as a gift in 1776.
No, we just read about that.
This is a tricky one, though, because France, where is it? France gave the statue to the United States as a gift, right? So
yeah,
it tells us there. As a gift.
Yeah.
And it says France gave the statue. So France is true, gave the statue as a gift. Those 3 things are true. But
this part is not true. The last one.
1776 is false because it says 1886. So if one part is false, the whole thing's false.
That's right. So this one is false.
Number 6 is false.
Okay. Number 7, Lady Liberty's crown has 7 points.
This is easy because it says it right here. A crown with 7 points.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's easy. We only have one left. You cannot buy tickets in advance to see the Statue of Liberty.
Now, this one doesn't answer that question, but we can make an assumption. We can make an inference about this. Mm-hmm. So it says
in the very last
it's a good idea right here. It's to buy your tickets in advance. So it doesn't say I can't buy my tickets in advance, but it says I can buy my tickets in advance, so I can figure out.
Well, it says it's a good idea, so I think it's
I can
possible.
Infer that I can. Therefore, I know this must be false.
Right.
Number 7.
Right. Number 8. You mean?
Number 8.
Yeah.
Yes. Number 8. Number 7 have 7 points is true.
Yes, that's right. Okay.
Good.
All right.
So on the next page, I don't know if I
want to look at the pictures. So let's do the rest of the book first, though.
Okay. I don't think I did the next page here.
You just did these words at the bottom.
The next page, I'm going to put it up here like this. This top part of that next page, I forgot to make a copy of it to show you, but those we want you to look through those and write your answers out in nice sentences. So where is the statue located?
Yeah, don't just write a few words, write a sentence.
In 1886, we can say in 1886, France gave the Statue of Liberty to the people of the United States as a gift of friendship.
They won't be hard to do.
No, they won't.
And we've talked about everything, I think. But if you have a question, of course, call us or write us.
But let's have you pause the video for a second and go ahead and scan the article. So read the article and look for these words.
You might be able to do this
I think we did it
by
already.
memory, I think.
And look for these words and try to figure out which, I'm pointing at the words on there. Look at the words that are on at the bottom of page 121.
It's a little tricky, but just pick the one you think is the best, okay?
So it gives you number 1, sites. It asks, is that attractions or park? A park, you go visit a park. But really, a park is a site because we like to go visit a park, but a park is a type of site maybe, but it's not sites. Sites are lots of different kinds
You
of
have to pick the
attractions.
word that means the same thing, close to the same thing.
That's why they picked A, attractions. So go ahead and do those. I think you're done now. So we're going to scroll this up and talk through these answers for you.
All right, I think you did the answers.
Oh, I did them on this one. I should have done that.
All right.
Okay. So number 2.
Number 2, remember we talked about symbol, that the Statue of Liberty was a symbol of freedom. So this is a little bit weird what they did, but they chose sign, okay? You might have picked gift because
No.
but sign is better. Sign, for example, here, if you're driving and you see a red shaped like a octagon and it's painted red, even if you don't see the word stop on it, I think you would know to stop, right?
Because that's red octagon is.
And you know from driving, I think
it's a sign.
Even when we lived overseas, that still meant stop.
Right.
So
the next one's easy though, number 3. Gift, not a promise, but a present, right? It's another word for gift.
Right. Robe, dress is closer to the real meaning than jacket.
Yeah.
Because a jacket is like a short coat.
You remember the picture over on page 120. It looks kind of like a dress, but it's not a dress. Right? And number 5, a torch. Now, a torch isn't a pen. A torch is a fire. So, yeah.
Would be more like freedom than friendship. A pass, I think you probably got that.
And number 7's pass. It's a ticket. Now, you have to have a ticket in order to go into somewhere, in order to get entrance into the Statue of Liberty. But the ticket is the pass. They call it a pass.
Right. Some of you might have a pass to go to like an amusement park, like Six Flags or something like that.
Yeah.
Here, the last one, number 8, board there is not like a piece of wood. It's a verb, okay? So is it get on or is it get off?
It's get on.
Yeah, because they talked about boarding the ferry, right? Yeah. Okay, good job.
So good. So we have a couple other pictures we want to show you of the Statue of Liberty.
You can see so many pictures if you choose to look on the internet.
So this is the crown. Oh, let me go to the other one, crown picture first. This is the crown, like it was being sent over from France.
Yeah, they were actually in France when this one was done.
Okay.
Because they're constructing it there, they're building it. So you can get a little bit of an idea how big it is, because look at the size of the man, look at the statue's nose, you know?
And notice the color is kind of copper colored because it's made out of copper.
Yeah, the whole thing, like a penny, you know, is copper.
Yeah.
So it's like the same color. It's almost starting to change a little bit.
If you leave a penny out forever, for a long time, it will turn this green color from the oxygen in the air. And you can see that if we go to this other picture.
Yeah, all those other pictures you just went through, it turns this really,
But this is that crown
I love
again.
that color, that green color.
This is the crown again. Notice it's now green because now it's being renovated in New York.
Right.
So it's being built on the first one in France, and now it's being renovated here. It's being cleaned and fixed.
And look, there he is poking his head through one of those windows. So how many windows are 25, I think?
25 windows.
Yeah, and you can see the crown with the 7, what do they call them? 7 points?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then this is that picture we showed you with the base and the stairway going up.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's lots of information about it around it. The Statue of Liberty is pretty important to our country,
history,
to our history. We wish that there was not coronavirus now, so you could do things like plan a trip to go see the Statue of Liberty or the Alamo or some other site that's important to our history.
Or just so that we could get together, so
Yeah.
you could get together with your family.
More so we could see you.
Right. Exactly.
And our friends. So.
Well, there's also a very good reading in the White Book.
Yes, in the White Book on page, I forget.
It's in chapter 10, because that's
10,
where we are.
Yeah, page. Tell them what it's about.
It's about Alcatraz. So just like this statue was on an island, this other one is not a statue, but it's a prison. So it's a prison for really bad criminals, like the people that
see the picture
did
of
the
it?
worst things.
It's also in a bay on a little island, and
So
it's in San Francisco. It's on page 128.
Yeah, so it's really interesting to read too.
Yeah. So if you have questions about it, try to do the work in the book, and if you have questions, we can answer those for you.
Yeah, it uses some of the same vocabulary, but new ones too.
Yeah, send us a text or call us. We'd love to talk.
Yeah. All right. We miss you.
Miss you a lot.
All right.
Bye now.
Bye.